Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. First for Indiana, at the 1 and 2, George Hill and Lance Stevenson. And starting 7'2", one of the true giants in the game, another great big man out of Georgetown, Roy Hibbert. Then it's Paul George, and it's West in at the 4 spot. And for the Pelicans, backcourt, Holiday and Gordon. And playing at the 5, a jump-shooting 7-footer with underrated athleticism out of Colorado State, Jason Smith. Then there's Al-Farouq Aminu, and it's Davis in at the 4 spot.
One thing that always translates from team to team is defense. No matter who you play, if you can challenge shots and bother shooters and play together, you'll win, and that's why the Pacers had so much success against Western teams last year.
And over the last decade or so, it's usually been the Western teams getting the better of the Eastern teams more often than not, but the Pacers are able to be the exception because of their defense, as you were talking about.
Yeah, if you can defend and rebound, you can beat anyone at any time on anybody's floor. And I think the Pacers were able to do that last year, 18 and 12 against the West. And that only trailed Miami as far as Eastern Conference teams and their success against the West.
Now here's Gordon. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Well, you know, Eric Gordon, when he's healthy, is really an explosive and efficient scorer. He's able to spread the floor with his three-point shooting, and he is relentless in attacking the rim for hoops when he's healthy.
New Orleans shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. And he makes the first. And Gordon staying just 6'3", but with his powerful frame, he's able to power his way often to the rim.
Yeah, he's so good using his strength to get inside and draw contact to get to the line and finish plays in which he's been fouled.
Gordon hits both of them.
There were high hopes for New Orleans in what would be their final season as the Hornets last year, but they ended up struggling in part because they didn't win at home, but also they had some injuries that affected the team as well. They had the fewest home wins in the entire West.
George, he's covered by Aminu. And George, here we go.
Well, he's an exciting young player. Almost 6'10", great athleticism, length, dynamic finisher at the rim, and he can guard multiple positions defensively.
And you know what, Steve? His growth defensively has been just as impressive. He uses that length to great advantage, contesting shots and coming away with deflections and steals.
Come on, you're gonna miss it.
That free throw good from George. He's perfect from the line this time.
Boy, that was solid. I'll tell you, he's one of the best there is up there at the foul line.
On defense, Indiana. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Monty Williams. We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. 6 to shoot. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Davis. Holiday with it. Now defended by Stevenson. And Holiday kicks to Aminu. Dishes to Gordon. Shot clock at 5. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. From deep three-point range. Pacers with the rebound.
Pelicans ended up being the name that New Orleans chose when it was all over. And I like the new look uniforms, but they had some other options as well that sounded pretty good to me. How about the brass? because it gives nod to the music that New Orleans has popularized.
Well, definitely a nice sounding name. Other options were the Swamp Dogs, the Bull Sharks, the Mosquitoes. Steve, all in all, you have to think they went the right way with the Pelicans.
I don't know. My personal favorite was the Rougarou, Kevin. I don't even know what that means, but that was in the mix. Would have puzzled a lot of other people around the country besides me, but better than Mosquitoes, that's for sure. Pelicans was probably the right way to go.
The shot by Holiday, no good.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
George dishes to Hill. Back to George. George gets a screen from West. George passes to West. And he drops in the layup off the glass. West has got his first 2 points of the night. The Pelicans have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. There's a screen. And Holiday kicks to Gordon. 29 seconds left here in the first quarter. Holiday attacking. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Holiday's got his first points of the game. Outside Hill. Kicks it to George. Here's the three. Can't hit. Here's Aminu. Can't get it to go. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. It's the Pacers. They're up by 3. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
Welcome, folks. I'm Damon Bruce. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Indiana Pacers. And now we send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew. I'll see you at the half.
Hello and welcome, everyone, to another exciting edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. This is Kevin Harlan. A quick check now for starting 5 for both teams. First for the Hawks, Devin Harris is out there with Lou Williams. And holding down the middle, a tremendously hard-working and versatile big man out of the Dominican Republic, Al Horford. And it's Jamison in at the 4. And for Indiana, Conley out there with Orlando Johnson. And starting 7'2", one of the true giants in the game, another great big man out of Georgetown, Roy Hibbert. Then it's Paul George, and it's Davis at the 4 shot.
Well, guys, for the Pacers, it's been a slow and long climb from the Malice at the Palace back in 04. But now, with a terrific young team, fresh off a strong showing in the Eastern Conference Finals, we can finally say the Pacers are back, and they're going to be around for a while, contending for championships.
And it's the Hawks to start out. Harris passes to Williams. Jamison with a screen on Johnson. Williams dishes to Jamison. Left side Harris. 6 to shoot. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And for the Pacers, ever since that unfortunate night in Detroit, the attendance in Indiana has sagged. They've been at the bottom half percentage-wise, Steve, for the last 9 years.
Well, it's time for the fans to come back, Kevin. This is an elite team. They've got really high character, good guys. Ticket prices are about 60% less than the league norm. One of the best arenas in the NBA, and hey, it's Indiana. I mean, this is a basketball state.
And Harris drops them both.
The Hawks last season weren't really a bad offensive team, but they did have one of the more memorable offensive nights, and not for anything positive. In a January game against a tough Bulls team, the Hawks only scored 58 points over the course of the entire game.
Now here is Conley. Feeds to Hibbert. Johnson with the fadeaway. Rebound by Jamison.
That's a tough one there because he's wide open. That's a shot he expects to make.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Larry Drew. And Doris, what'd you find out?
They'll be up against one of the true giants of the league in Roy Hibbert. And he talked about how impressed he is with Hibbert's dedication to improving his game, saying he's gotten better year after year. And now is one of the guys you have to account for, really at both ends of the floor. Defensively, you've got to get low and try to root him out of the paint. And then on offense, we'll probably look to put him in pick and rolls to test his mobility. Seems like a smart strategy, guys. We'll see how they do.
Thanks again, Doris. And here's George. After Lou Williams was able to get the three to go. Back to George. .131 left to play in the first quarter. And the first shot of the night for him, missing. As you said, the Hawks had one of the worst offensive nights, Clark, in the NBA. But overall, we're a solid offensive team, right around the middle of the league. Steve, just goes to show what can happen when a team goes cold.
Yeah, when you don't have that one guy who you can always lean on to score. I mean, there are going to be some nights where everything just misses. And I think that was the case that game against Chicago. It was kind of bizarre, but hey, over the course of 82 games, it's going to happen.
Here's Conley, following the score by Lou Williams. And they get it. That doesn't go either for George. The Hawks with a quick start to this game. Now Williams. He's got 5. He feeds it to Horford. Harris takes a 3. Paul George grabs the miss. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. In low to Davis. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Well, it took a while, but somebody finally got a shot to go.
You know, I was starting to get a little concerned for them. I mean, it hadn't been pretty to this point.
Harris kicks to Horford. Williams. Horford sets a screen for Williams. A floater. The shot is off.
He got the shot he wanted off that pick, just couldn't get it to fall.
But, Steve, they'll take that play all day long, 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
Conley into the lane. And so the first quarter is in the books. Hawks lead by 5. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated. And Steve and Clark and I are refreshed and ready to go here as well. And for the Hawks guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
So difficult to get a shot off against this defense. They are really playing hard.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and they pride themselves on making it tough for their opponents.
Here is Hill.
Well, if the Pacers wanted to grab the attention of the league with their postseason play, they certainly did that. They marched through the first 2 rounds by knocking off the Hawks and the Knicks. And, boy, remember, they were a game away from the NBA Finals.
The pass to George. Fires the 3. And that one's good. George has got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Pacers. Ultimately, the Pacers would fall to the Heat, but they put them to the test. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They gained respect league-wide even more than they had going into the playoffs. It took 7 games, Clark, and you saw them all, which a lot of folks didn't see coming.
I know that's the case, and yet the way the Pacers showed such grit in that series, it indicates they can compete with anybody. And when you have a defensive anchor like they do in Roy Hibbert, they've got a chance to be a championship team before long.
Now George, after the miss 3 from Cannon. Stevenson passes to Hill. Down to 5 on the shot clock. 2 minutes. Stevenson with it. Now guarded by Terrell. Hansbrough dishes to Stevenson. Outside, George. We've got 1:48 left now here in the second. Outside, Hill. And Stevenson kicks to Hill. Poke loose. Cannon. Hansbrough defending. Outside Teague. He dishes it to Thompson. The Hawks working the ball around. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Now, severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was near the out-of-bounds line.
And the Hawks making a change here. A minute 20 left to play here in the half.
The Hawks made the playoffs again, but ended up losing in the first round to the Pacers in 6 games. Dropped the first 2 in Indiana, won the next 2 in Atlanta, but it all ended when the Pacers got them in Game 6.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Hey guys, Roy Hibbert, the 17th overall pick back in 2008, but there were concerns about him, that he was too slow, not athletic enough. Hibbert said, people said I wouldn't be in the NBA. People said I wouldn't be a starting center. I just proved people wrong, and hopefully I'll be the best when it's all said and done. The best? He added, quote, I will be the best center in the league one day. With his remarkable improvement thus far, he's not far off.
Well, you combine that size and that will to dominate. He's become a big factor. Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. Plumlee, the pass to Stevenson. Dishes it to George. Shot clock at 5. From past the arc. And it's Stevenson missing. Well, and for the Hawks, it's been 6 consecutive seasons with basically this group. Certainly Joe Johnson left as a free agent to Brooklyn. But, Steve, they have yet to get past the second round in any of those playoff runs.
I think that's why they decided to part ways with Josh Smith and originally with Joe Johnson 2 seasons ago, just to make that next step, to start fresh. They may take a dip here, but I think that the future does look bright.
This game going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over.
Well, I just, you know what, come on, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
The dish to Hill. Pass to Hansbrough. Fires from the wing. That one off the back iron and out.
You just assume he's going to knock those down when he's as open as he was there.
And that'll do it for the first half. Game time. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports, and I'm Damon Bruce, coming to you live on a Friday night. The Pacers living up to their team moniker tonight, setting the pace in this one. They've done a great job closing out their defensive possessions, grabbing boards, great rebounding. It's Paul George leading them in scoring. And they've got a lot of production in the first half out of Ed Davis as well. And the Hawks have been plugging away. Just an impressive all-around team effort out there. They're going hard. Lewis Williams, the leading scorer. When you talk about a guy carrying the load, this is exactly what you mean. Over half of his team points have come from him. And now we'll send you back to Indianapolis. See you next time on 2K Sports at the Half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. A tough team and a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East.
And here are the Pacers now. Conley kicks to Hibbert. Johnson outside. Pass to George. The feed to Conley. Johnson. Back to Conley. Passes it to George. 6 on the shot clock. Hit his foot. And it's being called a kickball. And the Pacers, as you mentioned, Clark, very solid against the other teams in the East as they would cruise to a 31-20 record against the rest of the conference.
And really, that's because this team is built to handle anything that's thrown at them. Given it's a big, strong, kind of old-school team. They'll pound you inside. They rebound. They protect the paint. There aren't a lot of matchups that seem to bother this team.
And it's the Pacers with the ball. Johnson outside. Back to George. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Here's Atlanta now. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kevin, even though there have been a lot of changes over the past few seasons in Atlanta, the team has rebounded despite the turnover in coaches and players. Al Horford said it came together quickly because of the GM, saying, quote, "We understood he was trying to do some things in a different way." Sounds like they have a good understanding of what they are trying to accomplish here, guys.
A lot of talent, Doris. They're keeping them all working together.
A lot of high hopes for what Lou Williams could do with a new team last year. It really started off quickly with Atlanta. Had some good games, but eventually the season went down the drain with that knee injury in January.
Now, here is George. 4 on the shot clock. Puts it up from 15. Al Horford with the rebound.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
And the basket by Harris. And the Hawks lead by 4. For Williams' quickness, a big part of his game. We'll see how the knee affects his game, Clark.
You know, it normally takes a year or so to get back to playing, 2 years to get back to 100%, but he signed to a very cap-friendly contract, so Atlanta may be able to weather his loss until he's back to his old self.
Plumlee, he's checked in for Roy Hibbert. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Here's Conley. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. They grab their own miss. Kicks it out to Johnson. Feeds it to Conley. Back to Johnson. He passes to Conley. George. Indiana moving it around. And here's Johnson outside. That's in there. Conley with the assist.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
The Hawks leading. 52 seconds left to play in the third. Williams kicks to Harris. Back to Williams. Here's the 3. That's good. Williams has got 5 points in the quarter.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
Johnson. That one wide left. The Hawks leading by 4. Harris dishes to Jamison. On the wing, Williams. It's rebounded by Indiana.
Easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while.
Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. And the Hawks making a change here. Twelve seconds left here in the third quarter. Cannon passes to Williams. Harris drills the three-pointer. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Off target, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. Hawks ahead. They're up by 7. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Hawks.
These long-range shots look like layups out there, guys.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good, crisp passes.
So it's the Hawks now. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. And there's the pass to Cannon. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. The Pacers shooting 27%. The offense is just embarrassing themselves. Conley kicks to Johnson. Back to Conley. And stolen by Harris. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. Outside Williams. Back to Harris. Harris gets the screen from Horford. Harris outside. From outside the arc. He is hauled in by Paul George. George has got 6 rebounds in the game. Johnson, he's guarded by Williams. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. And the Hawks making a change here. Jamison's checked in. Jamison. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Here's Williams. Davis with the block. Now the Pacers moving it up. Conley's running. He kicks to Johnson. Cuts off the pass. Fast break to Hawks. Here's Williams. Here's Cannon. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one on George.
He's a scrapper. Guys, never slows up and throws his body around with utter disregard for his own safety. You got to love his approach to the game.
Maybe that takes a toll on him over the course of a season, but really that's the only way he knows how to go about it.
That's the first, and that stretches their lead to 8. Goodrich, he's checked in for the Hawks. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 9-point ball game. And the Pacers call time here. They're losing by 9. 1:43 left to play here in the fourth. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Frank Vogel addressing his team. They're getting outshot from the perimeter. He told them, we've got to close out faster on the outside shooters. These threes are killing us. Kevin, can they tighten their D?
Thank you, Doris. Conley with it. Devin Harris covering. It's tipped. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Jamison with a screen on Conley. And it's Harris off the drive. Here's Goodrich. Tries again, and that's 2 points on the layup.
Now it's about time somebody scored. This is ugly.
Yeah, grit and grind ugly. That's how I would describe it. Every bucket counts double in a game like this one, or at least it should count double.
Now here is Conley, and then Hibbert with the dunk.
That's a nice finish for the big fella there. I mean, he used his length very well under the basket.
There may be more athletic players around the league, but Steve, not many bigger ones.
And I'll tell you what, Kevin, I'd like to see him even take advantage of that size more often on the offensive end and be more aggressive.
Williams dishes to Jamison. Left side Harris. Goodrich's screen on Conley. Shot clock at 6. Here's Cannon. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Johnson. Rebound by Williams. Atlanta's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Jamison with a screen for Harris. Goodrich kicks to Williams. He feeds it to Harris. Doubled by Conley. Here's Cannon. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Only one man back on D. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
And the Hawks will go for a different look here.
Michael Conley. Shooting one.
That's good from Conley. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And so the Hawks take the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Lewis Williams.
With you as we get ready for NBA action here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the Boston Celtics going up against the Portland Trail Blazers. And that's it for now. Let's send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you soon.
And they're the Trailblazers earlier getting set to play. Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for the Celtics, speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. And towering inside, the 7'3" Colossus from Nigeria, Ikan Okoye. Then there's Chandler Parsons, and it's Sellinger in at the power forward position. And then for the Portland Trail Blazers, They've got Jones each and every night. So important to utilize that size under the basket, and you know he'll be contributing in every way he can here tonight. Then it's Nelson, and it's Hickson in at the four-man position.
You know, at 33 and 49 on the season last year, the Blazers were well below 500, but they were a 500 team against the Eastern Conference.
Portland, as you said, was 500 against the East last season. They were 15 up and 15 down. You know, you look at how other teams with that record fared against the East, and Steve, 500 isn't bad.
Well, usually when you finish 16 games under 500 for the season, as the Blazers did, we don't go 500 against either conference. But, you know, they happen to just have a good matchup, apparently, with a lot of their Eastern opponents, and they did pretty well.
So the Portland Trail Blazers able to put the first points up on the board. Rondo dishes to Parsons. 6 to shoot. Good on the triple. Parsons got himself on the board with 3 there.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Back to Hickson. Moore outside from past the arc. Jared Sullinger grabs the board.
You know, Jared Sullinger was one of the top prospects in the 2012 draft, but concerns about his back dropped him to the 21st pick by Boston. And, you know, those concerns were well-founded. He ended up going under the knife in February after a back issue in Boston. He did play well, though, prior to that injury. Tough matchup there defensively. He just doesn't have the height or the length to bother that shot.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, guys, the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers gave me just a couple of minutes. Yes, Kevin, when we talked about this game, he said his concern was how to handle Rajon Rondo. He said, quote, Rondo has no problem getting to the middle of defenses and finding open teammates. We have to make him become more of a jump shooter. Let's see if they can do just that.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Now here's Parsons after the miss from Nelson. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. Well, back to Sullinger. He'd been playing pretty much all season in pain, showing a lot of grit and toughness, I thought, Clark, as the season wore on.
Yeah, Kevin, and the good news as his back recovers is that his game was never really based on his leaping ability. His game is low to the ground, based on savvy and skill. He's strong, powerful, and again, very skilled. So the recovery prognosis is good. And I think he's looking forward to a long and productive career. He's a really good basketball player.
Now, here is Nelson to end the run. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Kevin, he has a great knack for blocking shots from the weak side. He can always sense the right moment to leave his man, come over and help, and chase down the shooter.
And, you know, he's also a tough finisher, Steve. There's very little a defender can do if he gets to within arm's length of the basket.
Free throw drops for Nelson.
You know, it's always strange to see how a team will react when they lose one of their biggest stars. Last season, the Celtics were thought to be dead in the water when Rondo tore his ACL, but they actually rallied and went on the winning streak after the injury.
Anderson Varejão's checked in for the Celtics. Both free throws good for Nelson. Well, Clark, as you said, with Rondo and the Celtics, they would go on to win the next 7 right after his injury, and overall, Steve played better than expected the rest of the way.
Sometimes that's the way these things go, Kevin. A star player goes down, everybody else kind of steps up, and instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they use it as a rallying cry. And all those role players for Boston really picked up the extra slack, and I thought they made a great push to end that season after the Rondo injury.
Now here's Moore. After the miss from Okoye, Moore with it. Rodney Stuckey covering. Pass to Hansen from outside the arc, and the shot is good.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Rondo kicks to Parsons. Offensive rebound. Varejão's shot is good.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And that's going to open things up for them on the perimeter going forward, Clark.
Moore outside. Holcomb, he's covered by Rondo. Back to Moore, takes a three. No good. From half court, cannot hit. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Celtics lead by 3. From the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon, we're back in a moment. And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And the Celtics guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
And I thought they built this lead mainly because of their work on the glass. They really dominated the rebounding totals.
And it takes an effort from all 5 guys to get a rebounding advantage like that. Everybody has to rebound the ball. That's how you finish off your defense.
Celtics leading by 3.
Well, for the Portland Trailblazers, a new training staff hired over from Oklahoma City. They let go of their previous trainer who'd been with the team for 19 seasons. You know, fair or not, I think the seat got hot after all the injuries that were really devastating this team.
The Blazers on offense. Lewis outside. Smith with it. Back to Lewis. 6 on the shot clock. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
And those could be an important 2 points, too, guys, in a close game like this one.
Now here is Varejao. He kicks it to Olynyk. Parsons outside. Crawford outside. Launches it. And that one's good. Crawford's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And for the Blazers, statistically the most injured team in the NBA, Clark, from 2009 through 2012.
And the new training staff is advanced in not just injury treatment, but injury prevention. And that's key, using strength bands, recording baseline measurements for muscle strength and flexibility, even using Eastern medicine. So they're not leaving any stone unturned.
.149 left here in the second. Smith outside. Lewis on the wing. Back to Smith. Shot clock at 6. And it's good. One through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
What a play. The hoop plus the harm.
Excellent concentration on the finish. That's big time.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And as a 78% foul shooter last season, he was pretty steady at the line.
And that one misses.
Not many teams, guys, in the East did very well against the West last season. And that in mind, you could call Boston's 14-16 record against the conference better than most.
Now let's go to Doris Burke, Doris.
Gentlemen, for Jared Sullinger, drafted to the Celtics last season, it was a great opportunity to learn from one of the best big men ever to play the game in Kevin Garnett. Sullinger said, "You're learning every day, and as you're seeing what he's seeing, the game slows down tremendously." Fortunately, Jared not the type to take criticism personally, saying, quote, "Because I had Zach Sullinger as a coach," he says, referring to his father James, who taught him the game. And guys, Garnett praised Sullinger's incredible IQ for the game and no-nonsense demeanor. He's fit right in with the Celtics.
Nice stuff, Doris. Thank you. And the Celtics making a change here. Okoye's checked in. And so he makes both from the line. And for the Celtics against the West, even in the shortened season, they were having a lot of trouble with some of the bigger lineups, Steve. More of the up-tempo teams out west.
Well, the Celtics were old and a little bit small, too. Kevin Garnett played center last year, so they played a lot of small lineups. And when you're small and you're old, sometimes, that's going to cost you, particularly on the road.
Now here's Crawford after the miss from Sims. Crawford passes to Parsons. Crawford outside. Offensive rebound, Celtics. Stuck it. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
For now, the Trailblazers are still the basketball team in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle made a strong push to acquire the Kings. Made a record bid, but the owners decided that Sacramento had done its part to keep the Kings, and so Seattle has to wait.
And the first one at the line is good. And Clark, going back, the Blazers, one of three teams in the Pacific Northwest. You also had the Sonics in Seattle, and Steve, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And I think those two cities, particularly Seattle, Kevin, are strong contenders for a new NBA franchise. Of course, Seattle almost ended up with the Sacramento Kings, but when Sacramento was awarded the franchise, a lot of people felt like it was only a matter of time before Seattle would be granted an expansion team.
And so Stuckey nails both of them.
Last season, a hard one for Stuckey. The Pistons finally shifted him back to his natural shooting guard position. A lot of people thought he would break out, but instead, he had his lowest field goal percentage and scoring average since his rookie season.
Back to Lewis. Pass to Sims. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Smith for three. Trailblazers keep it alive. Lewis outside. Lewis right side. Great D that time from Jared Sullinger. And here comes Rodney Stuckey. Fires for three. And that's not going to go. And we finished one half of basketball. Celtics out in front. They're up by 6. Well, folks, stay tuned for the halftime show with Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Happy to have you with us for tonight's game. Let's start up the halftime report. Boston leading against Portland. They're a powerhouse rebounding team, and it's been more than apparent in this one. An impressive first half for Chandler Parsons. He's got 6 points and also helped out with 2 rebounds. And hanging tough, the Portland Trailblazers. A gritty, hard-nosed effort. They're hungry for the win. They're making their own luck. Nolan Smith has been the X factor. You have to love the way he's asserted his will on the offensive end. And that's it for now. Thanks for stopping in with us. It's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, who are all ready with the call in the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year it seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah. They added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
Celtics leading by 6. Now Rondo. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up standing pat at the deadline, Steve. Even though there was, it seemed, a lot of interest.
You want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished. And now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer. But I like the fact that they gave that club one more run.
And he makes the first, but misses the second.
Well, a lot of basketball pundits, so to speak, would like to eliminate lottery pick protection outside the top 3 from trades. They feel it gives teams too strong an incentive to tank. You look at the Blazers last season, they owed their pick to the Bobcats if it was 13th or lower, and they finished the season 8-26 after going 500 at that point, so maybe a little suspicious.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots it. And that one hits back iron. Trailblazers trail by 7. Now, here is Nelson. Buries it down low. John Clark going back to the Blazers. They finished the season among the worst defensive teams in the entire league.
And that's where they've got to improve, Kevin. They did a decent job denying looks on the perimeter, but they didn't get blocks or steals, so not a real force defensively. And among the worst in fast break points and points in the paint as well, so they clearly have some areas they can shore up.
Here's Rondo. After the made shot from Nelson. Rondo drives in. And good on the basket. Book it. Rondo's got his first bucket of the night. Now a timeout called by Portland. Boston making some changes. Verajao comes in for Okoye. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Chandler Parsons. A minute 42 left to play in the third.
Well, Blazers coach Terry Stotts is a branch on the tree of head coach George Karl, and that's a pretty good tree to be on. In his playing days, Karl coached Stotts in the CBA, and actually Stotts had a pretty good career in Europe.
Now here's Jones. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. 1:16 left in the third. Bradley dishes to Rondo. Back to Bradley. Bradley gets a screen from Verajao. Stuckey drives inside. Outside Bradley. Just 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Jones. Feeds to Nelson. Trailblazers moving the ball around. And Moore kicks to Jones. Moore. Portland again missing. And for Terry Stotts, after his playing days, he coached as an assistant under George Karl, both in the CBA and then with the Sonics and the Bucks.
And over 2 decades of coaching experience, Kevin. This is his 6th season overall as an NBA head coach. Remember, he coached the Hawks as well as the head man. But I thought did a nice job with Portland last season.
And Boston with the rebound. And it's Bradley off the drive. He's looking for Sullinger and finds him.
Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
It's his first trip to the line. Free throw good from Sullinger. The Celtics making a switch here. Free throws good from Sullinger. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Here's Holcomb. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we've reached the end of the third. Celtics lead by 9. From the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon. We're back in a moment. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Celtics?
Well, anytime they've needed easy points, they've gotten themselves to the foul line. That's been key.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
Trailblazers trail by 9. Kicks to Nelson. Good. Nelson's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Trailblazers.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Outside Rondo. Parsons. Back to Rondo. Clock at 6. He dishes it to Parsons. The tray. Here's Okoye. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
And they've needed every one of those rebounds. I think that's what's put them in front here.
Now, here's Lewis. Thrown by Okoye. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Unloads from 9. The shot is off, and it's Portland the other way. He feeds it to Lewis. They grab their own miss. The pass to Sims. There's the dish to Lewis. And it's off from three-point range. Celtics leading by 9. Outside Rondo. Pass to Okoye. Takes the 13-footer. Jump shot is good that time.
Tough assignment for that defender with the size mismatch we're seeing.
Yeah, I just don't think he's big enough to handle it.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're behind by 11. 104 left in the fourth quarter. All right, let's go over to the sideline at Doris Burke.
Yes, I had a chance to find out what the Trailblazers head coach was going over with his guys. He said, listen, we've come this far. Now we've got to lay it on the line to get a win. I know we can do it. So show them what you got and let's make it happen. Guys, we'll see if they can do it.
State Warriors up against the home team. And now it's time to get you out to the game. Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew are standing by to bring you all the action.
Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke.
Next on 2K Sports, it's going to be the Golden State Warriors up against the home team. And that's all for me here in the studio. Let's send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew. Enjoy your game, everyone.
Welcome to 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr with Doris Burke on our sideline. It's the Warriors to start out. Curry kicks to Green. There's the dish to Bogut. And the shot no good, a bit short. On defense, the Warriors. Number 12. No good. Curry with the defensive effort.
He had a defender draped all over him. Not really the best shot there.
Well, not the shot you hope for when it's well contested like that.
Now, here's Green. Bogut, defended by Jefferson. From 10 feet out, Bogut gets the bucket. Bogut's got the opening basket of the game for the Warriors. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Golden State's head coach and I were able to chat. I asked him what their focal point would be defensively, and he said that Al Jefferson is at the top of their scouting report. With his smooth, low-post repertoire and mid-range shooting touch, he can put up points in a hurry. He said they'll try to steer him to his left hand as much as possible and just hope for the best. Kevin, we'll see if they can force him into a tough night.
Thank you, Doris.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Five on the clock. A dagger. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
Curry attacking. Pass to Kerr. Golden State needs to get off a shot. No problems knocking that one down.
Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
36 seconds left to play here in the first. Humphries with it. The three. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. The Warriors making a switch here. "17 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Price against Curry. Pass to Urebko. He feeds it to Iguodala. Leads him in there. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. And that does it for the first quarter. Warriors lead by 4. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
And the defense has been key in building this lead. They've really clamped down hard.
They've done a nice job, Steve. I think challenging every shot, a hand up on every shot.
Price with the ball. A dagger defended by Livingston. Back to Price. Clock at 4. With the fadeaway. Shot denied. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
You know, there's a lot of guys who can hit shots when they're left open, but I'm amazed by his ability to hit shots with defenders draped all over him.
Yeah, almost high-fiving him on the follow-through is what it looks like. He knows exactly how much space he needs to get his shot off, and he doesn't even worry about the rest of it.
Kicks to Humphries. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Warriors leading by 7. Right side Curry. Curry gets the screen from Urebko. And stolen by Price. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Curry with the defensive effort. Urebko, the pass to Iguodala. Dishes it to Green. Now the feed to Livingston. And he makes the 8-footer. Livingston's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Boy, nice bucket. They're really playing intelligently here.
And even though the lead's not large, they've definitely got the upper hand.
Feeds to Humphries. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
Just got a little careless on that pass. They should be able to connect on those.
Kevin Durant's checked in for Golden State. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Back to Green. He dishes it to Livingston. Outside for Durant. He passes to Urebko. On the wing, Iguodala. Just 5 on the clock.
Good D. Good
Pulls
D.
it up. They get it back. Here's Green, and that one's good.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Now, here's Price. 51 seconds left now here in the second. A dagger. They can't stop the run with that one.
He just couldn't shake loose. He had the defender draped all over him.
Green with the ball. Now guarded by B. Green dishes to Iguodala. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. He kicks it to Urebko. Good.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
And the Warriors making a change here. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And the free throw, no good. Puts up a 3, and it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. The Warriors on top. They lead by 13. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint. The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. You have to like what we're seeing from Livingston.
It didn't take long to see what kind of game he was going to have today. He came out very aggressively and had a terrific first half.
You know, you look at his shot chart, it's all graped up. I mean, he's right at the rim. He's driving the lane again and again.
Now, here's Green. This is the most they've led by, 13 points. Here's Curry. Snatched away. A dagger, headed by Green. On the pass to Humphries. Humphries off a pick from B. Number 12. Curry with the defensive effort.
Great defense in the paint there, making it tough on the offense.
That's what he brings, a presence. I mean, you saw it on that miss.
They kick it out to Green. Back to Curry.
Good D. Good D.
High, arcing shot. Gets the bucket. Curry's got the first basket of the second half here for the Warriors.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Now, here is Humphries. The dagger, guarded by Curry. The dagger, and Durant sends it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And the Warriors making a change here. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Curry against Price. Curry kicks to Durant. Pass to Green. Backing in. The dish to Kerr. Clock at 6. Fires the 3. No good. But they'll get another chance. And Green gets it to go.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Now, here is Humphries. Jean-Charles, and the layup's good off the glass.
That bounce pass got him the ball in rhythm. Nice play.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Iguodala. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Kerr. He feeds it to Kerr. From the arc. No good. Here's B. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Warriors lead by 15. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
Well, they're taking high percentage shots in the paint. I like the way their offense is clicking.
Something that also stands out tonight is the number of assists they have. I mean, that's a mark of a good club.
Number 12, defended by Kirk. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala.
Draymond Green.
Warriors leading by 15. Stolen away by himself.
How about that basketball, man? Beautiful. Wow. Old school time now. He broke to the rack, Kevin.
That is raw power, Clark. Raw, unbridled power.
And this place is shaking.
And it's the Warriors with the ball. 17 points was their biggest margin. Kirk kicks to Green. Passes it to Bogut. Defended by B. Puts it up from 12. And it's Price with the rebound. Bogut's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. The dagger. Can't get it to go. And Golden State will go the other way with it. Kerr, the pass to Bogut. Golden State moving the ball around. Outside, Green. Durant. Back to Green. 5 to shoot. It's Durant on the wing. From the corner. It's rebounded by B.
You just assume he's going to knock those down when he's as open as he was there.
Price outside. The dagger drops in the tray.
They're simply living and dying from behind the arc in the second half. And I don't think that's the way to go here. They're trailing. The three-point shot can be used. They've got to balance it out.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. They're up by 10. 1:03 left in the fourth quarter of this one. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard the Warriors coach as he addressed his team. With a deficit as we approach the final buzzer, he stayed upbeat, saying, listen, we can battle back, fellas. Just stay with me. I need all-out effort here, and we can bring it home. Fellas?
Now here's Durant. Back to Green. Kicks it to Durant. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And the first one drops. Your Rev coach checked in for the Warriors. Livingston comes in for Steph Curry. He's off on the second.
He would have liked them all to go, but that should still be enough to end this thing.
Humphreys the pass to B, and that's going to be out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. Lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession.
And the Warriors making a change here. Iguodala's checked in. Now here's Price. Number 12, defended by Livingston. Swiped it away. Now Iguodala. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Thanks for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Doris Burke, Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time. But first, let's check out the Jordan player of the game.